I like to think there's a certain aesthetic to my videos, and it's called reality. So if we can all just ignore that, that would be great. Hey guys, today, if you couldn't tell, I'm gonna be talking about my cactus and succulent type plants today. So I actually have a lot more than I kind of thought I did, I guess. Most of my older succulents did not really survive. That's just all there is to say about that. I've had some poor luck with succulents in the past because, you know, I just love water. So I'm just gonna basically show you guys the succulents and cactus, like funky, ugly one, should not be in the front. I'm just gonna go through and show you the plants that I have, and if I know the names, I will put it below just in case you want to pick one up for yourself. I found that these plants are fairly easy to take care of as long as you give them the right water, the right light, and you feed them, which oddly enough is something that didn't occur to me for a very long time, is feeding plants. Who knew? It helps so much. I have another couple of videos actually talking about houseplant food, houseplant nutrients, things like that. So if you want more information on that, please check those videos out because there is some good, helpful information there. You know, I think I'm doing okay. So I did have a comment on another video. I did not show the plants long enough when I did my houseplant wish list, which I'm sorry, that's my bad. And I guess I just kind of assumed that you guys would freeze frame, which again, my bad, that's very inconsiderate of me to do that. So I will try harder to put a little bit more emphasis on showing you the actual plants rather than just talking about them. So here we go. I really can't make this segue any more exciting than that. So let's just get into it with this little surprise that I noticed the other day and like freaked out. This is like one of the first plants that I got. So this guy is actually starting to bloom, I guess. I think some of these little bulges are like more of this growing, and then I think these are all flowers, which if that's the case, then it's like dreams come true. So I will definitely show you guys that if this blooms, because that will be very exciting. I've been waiting for this for a couple of years and it hasn't bloomed yet. So this is another cactus, and I got both of these I think at Home Depot, and to be honest, they haven't really grown tall. So these are not big like statement cactus things. I think this part of this thing has grown, and it like has grown some new fuzz, but I mean it's really not that exciting to me, to be honest with you. So I do really like the flowers, or I do really like the fact that this is flowering, and that's really cool, but these are probably not my favorite, I would say, out of my collection. They're just not very exciting and they don't really do anything. So this thing just had 2 arms, I think, when I bought it. And it's finally started to grow these like long, crazy arms. Very similar to this cactus, which I got both of these at around the same time. And this was just a single pillar when I bought it, and it grew this like crazy arm. So that's cool. I thought about cutting it off and propagating it, but I just couldn't do that. But these are 2 more that I would say are, I really like this one, and I think this one will be really cool as it grows and gets bigger, but these also are not super amazing, interesting, fast growing plants. That may change because they're pretty small, but you know, again, these aren't like my absolute favorites in the collection. I do really like this one, and this one has been interesting to see how this grows. So they're not like my most hated. This one I do really like, and I think this is going to be really cool in like 20 years. Because since I've gotten it, how long have I had this thing? Like, it's gotta be about a year that I've had this thing, and I think it's only grown this much. But I think it's gonna be really cool. A lot of these are just not very fast growing plants, so maybe that's something to consider. More so cactus, I would say, but they don't tend to be very fast growing. or buy the big ones. Just I think what I'm gonna start doing. So this is my, I can never freaking remember the name of this one, and I know what it is. It's something about a castle, but I really like this cactus. And these get really cool as they grow. This hasn't grown a ton since I've gotten it. I've only had this one for probably a couple of months, and it has grown a little bit, but this one I would say it probably is going to be faster growing and a little bit more exciting than the other ones that I've shown you. So also, this is another cactus I have that has done well and shown like a good amount of new growth. And this is a rat tail cactus, so far the only one that I've known the name of. I did have a lot of comments before, people telling me that it's not getting enough light and it's not close enough to a window, and that's why all of these are growing really spindly and thin as opposed to being really thick like these. Now I'm not sure if this is just how they grow and maybe they get bigger with time, because this right here was this size when it started growing and it's getting thicker. Maybe that's just how it grows. But all of these plants do really want a good amount of bright light. So just make sure that that's something that you have in your house that you can give them. I don't have a lot of bright light in my house, so like I said, a lot of these plants are just literally shoved in my window. If you have a lot of bright light, lucky you. If you have a place where you can put these outside, lucky you. That's not the case for me, either of those. So I just gotta work with what I got. This is a curly orchid cactus. And I also have, I think it's another variety of an orchid cactus, and I will play a little clip of that in here at some point while I'm talking. But both of these cactus tend to prefer a bit more water, and this and the other one I tend to soak pretty well when I water them, as opposed to just giving them, you know, a little bit of water like I do some of the other cactus. It was a really unhealthy, damaged plant when I got it. I got it on sale, and it was like one of the ones that I wanted to rescue and bring back to life, and I think I got it for like $5. I was okay with that. Did not realize it was as slow growing as it is, so I kind of wish I would have gotten a bigger one. I think it's really cool, and these are really cool when they get bigger. But I drench this and let the water drain all the way through. Drench it pretty well, I would say once a week or so, just that it stays wet. And this one I'll even mist along with the orchid cactus too. Just mimic their natural environment and you will do much better with your plants. Just things to consider. It's something that's helped me a lot. It's kind of common sense and kind of like a duh, but it's also one of those things that if someone doesn't really point it out to you, it doesn't occur to you, kind of. But then you're like, oh yeah, duh. But that's something that's helped me out with a lot of my houseplants too, and like learning how to take care of them and water and give them proper light and all of that. Let's move on to my more succulent type plants, because I have a few of those surviving. So survivor number 1 is the most impressive survivor, and this thing, I just overwatered it again. I don't know how. I literally don't know how, because I was so sure, but it's okay because I didn't kill it. I think it's established enough at this point that I have high hopes of not actually killing this thing. But I've moved it into a window, so it's getting better light. If you can see how elongated it is, that's because it was sitting farther back from a window where a lot of my cactus are. So it was getting good light all day, but it wasn't getting really bright direct light. So now this is getting all that good morning sun. You can see here how much more compact the plant is compared with how spaced out the leaves are growing here, and that's just has to do with how close it is to the window and the bright sun. I'm hoping that the stem will strengthen and this will just get big, and maybe I can pop all these off and just make it look like a really cool big flower. This is survivor number 2. I've killed this plant so many times, but I keep bringing you back to life. But this is another good lesson to learn about succulents, or a lot of succulents. I don't know if they all do this, but this plant had a flower on the end that I probably overwatered. I can't remember even at this point, but it ended up dying. As you can see, the whole plant, it was a plant at one point, but I left the stem. So I put this in the window and just kind of let it do its thing and get sun. And you can see like these little baby succulent flowers that started regrowing on the stem. So if you have an established stem that no longer has a plant growing from the top of it, it will start to grow new little baby plants all along the established stems. It's cute, so I'm gonna put that back in. Oh, I'm getting cold. I thought it was going to be sunny today, but it does not appear to be the case. Okay, so I only have a few more plants to go over, so don't lose patience. I just got a new aloe because I killed my last aloe. Guess how? I overwatered it. You knew that. But I found this and I like the way that it's growing. It's kind of twisting, which I don't know if I want to encourage the twisting or if I want to keep it. Can you see what I mean? I don't know if you can see what I mean. But I don't know if I want to encourage the twist or if I want to keep it going straight. I don't know. It could look cool both ways. Would love to hear y'all's thoughts, and I'm pretty sure that I can train it to do either one depending how I place it in the window. So let me know. Now this is actually the first survivor that I should have talked about. And this is another perfect example of an elongated succulent. So this was so tiny when I first got this thing. It was probably about this tall. So this is about 2 years worth of growth, I would say. And again, it's not like close to a window, so it is elongating and there's a lot of space in between all of the leaves. But I think it's kind of cool. I like the way it's growing, so I'm just gonna kind of keep letting it grow. And the stem has grown strong enough to support itself, so I don't really need to stake it. What else do we have? So this guy, I have no idea what this thing is, but it likes a good decent amount of water. I don't really let this get or stay too dry, and it's right up near a window, so it gets good afternoon sun. I honestly had no idea what it was and wasn't really sure what it was going to grow into, but I really like it. It's kind of like almost carpety looking, and it's very full and lush, and it grows really, really fast. So if you see one of these and you want a thick, bushy, fast-growing plant, I would pick one up, because that is probably my fastest growing plant of that variety. Another fast growing is my string of pearls that actually looks like a string of pearls now. If you remember this from my unboxing video, it was about this big when I bought it. So it's done pretty well at this point. These are really easy to propagate, easy to grow. This gets good afternoon sun in the window, and this, like some of my other, like the orchid cactus and some of my other plants, this one tends to like a little bit more water than some of the other cactus. So I water this one pretty well about once a week and then just hang it in the window and let it do its thing. So seems to be very easy to take care of, and it's finally growing, which is nice. I don't have too much more to go. I think I'm close to done. My little Haworthia that I rescued from a bug infestation. I don't remember what it was, but I had to spray this thing down with soap water and wipe it every day for like a month. But I really like it. It's just like a weird green flower almost. Like fingery looking things. This gets good sun. It might not be getting as much bright sun as I would like because it is stretching a lot, and I don't know if they typically stretch quite that much. My happy bean. This is my happy bean. And I ended up staking this because it just looked really weak and kind of floppy. How I had it before, it wasn't thriving. So I decided to stake it and give it a little bit more support, and it seems to be doing a little bit better at this point. These are getting a little bit stronger and sturdier. It's got a little bit more life to it, but this is probably about a year or so of growth. This is pretty small when I got it. I staked it and it seems to be giving it more support, and just seems to be happier this way. So maybe if you have a happy bean that isn't doing quite so well, that is a suggestion. I actually realized that I forgot 3 plants when I was editing this video, so I'm gonna throw this in here. And it does love the sun. The cat has eaten a lot of this one. So that's about all I have to show for my succulent and cactus collection. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you have any questions about anything, of course, leave them in the comments below. If you have any feedback or suggestions, also feel free to leave that. You can find me over on Instagram at SimpleCareSteph. You can also check out my products and blog on simplecareproducts.com. Thank you guys for watching. I always appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!